Okay, inshallah, Ahmed bhai, let me share my screen and we read together one of the dreams of Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud Ahmad. So basically, first of all, let me give you the reference. This is Al Fazl, which is the official organ of the Jamaat, 1st of May 1948. It is nearly 1 year after the birth of Pakistan. Okay, now there are many things here, but I just want to save your time. Let's go to the dream straight away. Okay, मैंने देखा, who's this मैं? Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud Ahmad, Muslim Maud, or the second caliph. Okay, मैंने देखा कि मैं कादियान में हूँ. He said that I saw myself in a vision that I am in Qadian. और वो पाखाना जिसमें हजरत मसीह आई मिर्जा गुलाम कादियानी कज़ाए हाजत फरमाया करते थे, मैं इसमें हूँ. He says that I am in that same toilet in which Mirza Ghulam Ahmad Qadiani used to relieve himself. इसमें इसी तरह की लकड़ी की चौकी बनी हुई है, and it has that same seat made up of wood as it used to be in the time of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani. और इसके नीचे पहाना का पाट पड़ा हुआ है. And you know, back in the days, obviously they did not have these modern toilets, so there's a seat, and underneath that seat there's a pot in which people relieve themselves. He said this is the scene. Look, I know I'm being very, graphic here in this translation, but I have to, so because this has some relevance in the dream as well. Anyhow, let's move on. Okay, और मैं इसके ऊपर बैठा हूं. Now please have this vision in your mind, or this image in your mind, that there's a toilet, and in that toilet Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud Ahmad is sitting on that toilet seat. गोया गोया कज़ाए हाजत कर रहा हूं. He says that I am as though as I am relieving myself. No, I don't know. Look, either you are relieving yourself or you are not. What do you mean that as though as I'm relieving myself? Anyhow, और ऐसा मालूम होता है कि पहाना जो आया वो पतला सा है. It says that I have very loose motion. Okay, फिर वो कुछ फैल भी गया, and then this loose motion spread. Okay, और चौकी के किनारों पे भी कुछ गिरा, and some of it basically fell on the seat, on the toilet seat as well. जब मैंने तहारत शुरू की, and when I started to clean myself, तो मुझे ऐसे मालूम हुआ जैसे मैं टेढ़ा हो गया हूं. So I felt if I am tilled, और चौकी के नीचे गिरने लगा हूं, as though as I'm about to fall off the seat. टेढ़ा होने से वो पहाना जो चौकी पे गिरा था मेरी शलवार के एक हिस्सा को लग गया. It says that when I was tilted and I was about to fall, in that moment some of that what I spread around, some of that just stick, some of them just went on my on my pant as well. Okay, so there's a what he is doing there, the loose motion, it's all over the place, and then some of it is on his pant as well. जब मैं संभलने लगा तो दूसरी दफा ज्यादा झुक गया. It says that when I try to basically control myself in terms of when I try to balance myself, I tilted towards the other side, and दूसरी तरफ के पहाना के हिस्सा को कुछ तो पाजामा के हिस्सा को कुछ पहाना लग गया. Basically, now in the long story short, those who understand Urdu, you know what's happening here. Okay, there's a loose motion which is spread around, which is on the toilet seat as well, and now this loose motion is basically on the pant of Mirza Bashiruddin Mahmud. Okay, now इस पर मैंने पानी के लोटे से पखाना को धोया. It says that then I started to clean all of that with the water. इस वक्त मैं डरता हूं कि शायद लोटे में इतना पानी ना हो, and I was I was concerned that there may not be enough water जिससे मैं पाजामा को साफ कर सकूं, so that I can clean my pant as well, because don't forget that now there is the whole thing is just on his pant as well. और मैंने तहारत भी कर ली, and he said that I purified myself. Don't forget, all of this is happening on that toilet seat. Don't forget this main part, okay? और फिर भी लोटे पे पानी बच गया जिससे मैं वुजू करने लगा. He says that I started to make ablution in that same place. और इसी चौकी पे खड़े होके मैंने नमाज शुरू कर दी. Okay, now all of this is happening on that same toilet seat. Okay, he said that on that same toilet seat I cleaned myself, I made ablution or wudu, and I started to pray. मशरिक की तरफ मेरा मुंह था, and instead of facing to the Qibla, I was facing the other side, Mashriq ki taraf. And it is not my opinion, inshallah. I'll show you in a minute that the Qibla was in the opposite direction. Anyways, okay. पखाना की जगह ऐसी है कि अगर मकान को जुनूब की तरफ खींचा जा सके तो वो जगह मस्जिद मुबारक के मगरिब में. Now he's giving all the dimensions that where this toilet was and in which direction their mosque was, etc. And then it says that in the mosque, Maulvi Abdul Kareem Sahib Marhum. Okay, first he give us the direction that where is the toilet and which direction is the mosque, etc. And then it says, लेकिन हकीकतन दरमियान में कुछ कमरे हैं. It says there are few rooms in between the mosque and the toilet. और ये पाखाना कोई 30-32 फुट मस्जिद से शुमाल में है. And this toilet is about 30 plus yard in the direction of what is shumal, north, south, in the south. Okay, जिस वक्त मैं नमाज पढ़ रहा हूं एक नौजवान मेरे दाएं और दो नौजवान मेरे बाएं खड़े हुए. Now I want you to imagine this scene. All of this is happening in the toilet, and he is in the entire this drama, he is on the toilet seat, and now somehow there are three people in that same toilet as well, and one is standing on his right and two standing on his left. मुझे ऐसा मालूम हुआ कि दाईं तरफ से कोई नौजवान है बगैर दाढ़ी मूछ के और बाएं तरफ मियां गुलाम मोहम्मद अख्तर है. It says that I feel like if on the right side somebody is without any basically a clean shaved person, and on the left side there was one person like Mia Ghulam Muhammad Akhtar, one of their guys. और इनके साथ फिर एक बेदाढ़ी मूछ का नौजवान है, because he said that on the right there was one person, on the left there were two people, and one on each side was clean shaved. और हम नमाज पढ़ रहे हैं और नमाज भी बाजमात है. Now somehow Mirza Bashir Din Mehmood is actually praying on that toilet seat with all of that filth which you have already seen in the previous lines, and then they are having this congregational jamaat in that toilet. I don't know how, but that's what he said. मैं इस वक्त सख्त हैरान हूं कि मैं इस वक्त सख्त कि सजदा कहाँ करूंगा. He said that I was really concerned and I was really wondering that where I would make my prostration, sajda. जिस चौकी पे मैं खड़ा हूं इस पे तो पहाना गिरा हुआ है. He said that on the toilet seat there is filth, there is shit on the toilet seat, and I was thinking that how I'm gonna make my prostration on here. और मेरे साथी जहां खड़े हैं वो तहारत और पेशाब बहने की जगह है, and where my followers are standing, that place is basically not the purified place. It's basically a place of urine and the toilet thing basically. दाएं तरफ का नौजवान बेशक एक चौकी पर है मगर वो भी आखिर पाखाना का हिस्सा है. it says that the person on the right, even though he's also on a toilet seat, but once again, he says once again, it's also part of the same toilet. आखिर घबरा के मैंने पाँव की तरफ नजर की. He said that in all of this, state, I looked at my feet. तो मुझे ये देख के सख्त हैरत हुई कि पाखाना की चौकी एक बैठने वाली या नमाज की चौकी की शक्ल में बदल गई है. He said that I was surprised that all in a sudden this toilet seat has converted into something on which you can pray. और वो बिल्कुल साफ है and somehow now it's very clean. इसी तरह जिस फर्श पे बाएं तरफ के दोस्त खड़े हैं वो भी बिल्कुल खुश्क है और साफ है. इसे likewise the spot on which the other people are standing next to me, it's also clean. और कोई गंदगी इस पे नहीं है and there's no shit or filth on that. इस पर मैंने नमाज शुरू रखी. He said that I continued my prayer. क़याम के बाद जब रुकू के लिए झुका और रुकू करके उठा तो कुछ भिनभिनाहट और हरकत से मालूम होता है. It says that when I bowed down in my ruku and when I got up from my bowing down position, I felt that as though there is some sort of whispering, so which made me realize that in the Masjid Mubarak, which is the mosque in their Qadian, people are praying as well, and they are also praying in congregation. So there are two scenes. There is one prayer happening in their masjid and there is one prayer happening here in the toilet. Okay, Mirza Bashir Din Mehmood and 3 people with him, they are praying in the toilet and rest are praying basically in the masjid. And then it says that और वो लोग मगरिब की तरफ मुंह करके नमाज पढ़ रहे हैं. This is what I said in the beginning, that he was facing the wrong direction. The people in the masjid are facing the Qibla. They are facing towards the Qibla, which is in the west, not in the east. फिर हमने सजदा किया, जगह बिल्कुल साफ थी. फिर खड़े हुए, दूसरी रकअत शुरू की. And then he says that we continued the prayer, etc. Now, let's move on. इसके बाद मेरी आंख खुल गई. He says, on this I woke up. मुझे याद नहीं कि फिर बकिया नमाज मैंने ख़त्म की या रुकू के बाद ही मेरी आंख. इसे I can't remember if I completed my prayer or I just woke up in the middle of my prayer. जब आंख खुली तो मैं हैरान था कि ये क्या बात है. It says that when I woke up I was surprised that what is it. मशरिक की तरफ मुंह करके नमाज पढ़ रहा हूँ. It says I was facing towards the east, which is the wrong direction. और फिर मस्जिद के करीब हूँ और एक नमाजी कहता है कि हम आगे बढ़ गए हैं. इसकी ताबीर क्या है. फिर पाखाना, now the main thing, फिर पाखाना में नमाज पढ़ने का क्या मतलब है. It says that then why I was praying in the toilet, because there was mosque nearby. And then he gives the meaning. देखो पखाना को अरबी में क्या कहते हैं. पखाना को अरबी में बराज कहते हैं. बराज के मायने लड़ाई के हैं. It says that toilet. Now again, at this point I am not going into pointing out that how he was fabricating things in terms of interpretation of the dream. He says that toilet in the Arabic is called baraz. We have Brother Umar with us. You don't need to trust me or any one of us. Go and do your own research. Basically saying that the word for toilet and the word for fighting, it says these are the same word. Baraz is used for the toilet and baraz is used for the fighting. So basically he's trying to give this interpretation that the interpretation of the toilet is the fight. और मकअद के भी हैं जहाँ से पखाना निकलता है. I don't want to go into these details, but let's just see if this is something else. पखाना में होने के मानी बमका. And then basically he gave the interpretation that all of this was basically a scene of a fight between Ahmadis and non-Ahmadis, and eventually they are gonna come across, they will come as victorious, etc. I will come to that point. I just want to show you one point here. Look at this one. When he is interpreting the dream, he says the following as well. कि और दूसरी बार फिर कोशिश करके और ज़्यादा बढ़ जाएंगे, इस तरह लहजा ब लहजा तरक्की करके कादियान को ले लेंगे. Basically, you can say the gist of his dream is how he linked all of that. You can read for yourself. There is no way to link in a logical sense that how you link such a disgusting dream with all of this interpretation, but that's not our subject right now. I just want to give you one thing from his interpretation that can tell you that he was wrong. He said that we'll keep progressing until a point will come when we will take over Qadian. Don't forget, this was 1948. Okay, now partition has happened, and he is telling his followers that one of the interpretation or one thing in the interpretation of the dream is that they are going to take over Qadian again. I want you just to do a bit of research that what is the condition of this Jamaat in Qadian right now. Go and do your own research, and do your own research on this topic as well, that how likely is that they are going to be the custodian, quote unquote custodians of Qadian again. Go and read all of that. Just go and look at the number of their Jamaat in Qadian. But leave all of that aside. Now, obviously, your Caliph is giving you one interpretation. The dream you have already seen in this page. If you were the one who had this dream, would you ever be able to think that this dream is telling you that Ahmadiyyat is the true religion and it's gonna spread? Mr. Mirza Bashir Din Mehmood Ahmad, in all of this shit and filth, praying in the wrong direction, praying in the toilet, praying with a handful of people. I'm just pointing to few things. Please think about this. What is the interpretation of all of this filth in which he is just covered? It's not, I'm just making it up. You have seen already, my dear common Ahmadis, you have seen already that your Caliph is stuck in this filth, praying in the wrong direction. Despite the mosque is nearby, he is not in the mosque. He is not with the congregation. He is with handful of just 3 people with him. So now think about this. Obviously, I'm not saying anything. It's just what is given to us as information, as data. Let's try to understand this. Let's try to give another interpretation to this dream. That on the one hand, you have the Muslim congregation, the Muslim Ummah, praying in the right direction, praying in the mosque. On the other hand, you have the Ahmadi or Qadiani Caliph, praying in the wrong direction, praying in that shit and filth. This is in the dream. If this dream, if this information is giving you the confidence that Ahmadiyya ideology is the right one, go for it. But if this dream, and by the way, this is not something you can say, as allegation on the Jamaat. This is something mentioned by them. They themselves are telling us that this is the dream they had. And look at this one. Did they get, or have they ever been able to take Qadian back? Think about this. Why he was saying all of that. I leave it with you. A lot can be said. Let's inshallah end the discussion here. And I would love to listen from Ahmad that from this interesting dream, what he learned.
SubhanAllah. So I've got a very simple interpretation of this. subhanAllah, when we always hear that, and also happened to us when we were kids. When you're dreaming that you're in the washroom as a kid, what usually is happening is you're wetting the bed. Usually that is the case. But subhanallah, this is also a very interesting reference for me in a way that you see what the quality of writing he was producing and the dream he was producing of feces and dirt and something completely, that is unnatural against our fitra, right? And also all over himself, and then using such filth and turning it around and trying to make it as the dalil for and as an evidence for his truth. This is exactly what Qadianism is. This is exactly what the Murabbis do all the time. They take the filth of Mirza, the writings of Mirza, the abuses of Mirza, the things that he has said to the prophets, the things that he has said to Maryam alayhi salam. That is absolute filth. That is exactly what he saw in the dream. It's absolute filth, and then they turn around and try to make it as evidence for their religion and try to push it down our throat, saying that this is what the evidence for our case is. So this dream, because they like metaphors, right? So metaphorically, this dream exactly shows that what their methodology is. Their methodology is taking something that is absolutely filthy, like like a brother in the comments said, I had just started eating, and this started, subhanallah. So this is something absolutely filthy, and they're gonna just turn around and try to make it. And see the audacity. One thing that really surprises me is the audacity of these people, right? He might have seen this dream. We're not contesting that. He could have just left it out, because Prophet Muhammad SAW said that once you see a dream that is bad, and this is clearly not bad, it is like there's no, beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is a bad dream. Prophet Muhammad SAW said, spit on your left side and do not narrate this dream to anyone because it's from shaitan. But you taking this and then publicizing it, all this filth, and then trying to make it as some sort of a weird evidence for, and this is what we also want, like Imtiaz Bhai said, we also want the layman Ahmadi people to see. See, this is the evidence they present, and this is then how they twist and turn and make it to seem like that they have some sort of defense, right? So just think about this. Would you ever, like Imtiaz Bhai said, would you ever, in your right mind, see something so filthy and at the end of the day take out of it that they're gonna take over Qadian, or it is about fighting, sitting on the washroom with probable diarrhea? How does that equate to fighting? Subhanallah. And how wasn't jihad banned by Mirza anyway? Subhanallah. No, this is like, unfathomable. Subhanallah. I don't know what else can be. This is like clear as day what it is. And I apologize. We have to present this kind of evidence because like I know it's unfathomable, and it's filthy to when we Muslims hear all this. But subhanallah, this is the price we have to pay for da'wah to these people, inshallah.